Davis could have easily bet on himself. He could have gone to a better D2 school, maybe even play at the FCS level. But Davis stuck to his guns and helped first-year head coach Ryan Held put together the building blocks to his new program. It's like what we talked about in Lincoln, right? It's more than lifting a trophy and winning a state championship. It's about everything coming together as one unified varsity team, something Lexington aced once again in 2023.
Bergen Riley, Harper Murray, Merritt Beeson. Name a more iconic trio for second-ranked Nebraska volleyball. I'll wait.
But whether it was playing duck, duck, goose, going bowling, or maybe even taking a selfie, the win makes this past Saturday even sweeter in the eyes of West head coach Ron Beacom.
When it comes 7 o'clock, there are going to be over 90,000 plus people here to not watch a football game at Memorial Stadium, but a volleyball match.
And it may sound a little crazy, but high school football in Nebraska continued on a Saturday. Don't blame me, blame Mother Nature. So Cal and Stanford are going to have to travel all the way across the country to face Boston College in not a non-conference matchup, but a matchup that's going to impact their conference record for every single sport that they play.
These are the rowdies behind me, Kearney student section. Hey, I got one question for you guys. One question. Does Kearney win tonight? Yeah! I think we have ourselves an answer.
Let's move to the mats, where Adonis Lattimore, before wrestling at UNK, took the nation by storm, winning the state title in the 106-pound weight class all the way in Virginia. Now, he's ready to make the same impacts with the Lopers, overcoming adversity he's been dealt since birth.
No, obviously rich tradition built by those that came before us.
I've always wanted to be part of that historic team. My high school and middle school years, I haven't been able to do that, so to be part of it this year was a big motivator.
UNK checked all those boxes. It's an elite program.
A program of excellence, one that's continued by many, including Adonis Lattimore.
Long story short, pretty much Coach Jensen, after I won my state title, contacted me after he heard about me.
When we were, looking at schools and whatnot, we never thought that this would be where Adonis would end up at.
And I liked it out here, so I decided to make this my home.
A redshirt freshman by way of Virginia Beach in central Nebraska, with physical challenges from day one.
Obviously, I was born without legs, and there's just one thing on my right hand.
The umbilical cord wraps around the limbs, and it cuts off growth and circulation. And so his right side basically, was impacted by that.
Pretty much lived my whole life like this. Stay in a wheelchair when going around campus and stuff, and then in my dorm I just stay out of my wheelchair.
There was never an official diagnosis. Despite the physical challenge, Lattimore found the mats.
It was actually my dad that got me into wrestling, because apparently I brought a flyer back home from school one day.
He loved the sport from day one. That was always the case.
After that, he took me to the practice, and after that, it just kind of stuck.
And from there's been no doubt. With different techniques came a state title, leading the road to Kearney, America.
The support system surrounding him has been incredible, and that starts with his parents and even going to his high school wrestling coach, people that never doubted him for a minute.
And that was one of the things that, him and I, Adonis and I, we always talked about, hey, you want to be considered an elite guy. You want to be at the top of the food chain in this sport. Then if the opportunity presents itself, here it is.
He never complains, he never doubts, he never falters at all. He'll do everything that's asked of him and more.
Despite the roadblocks, success has followed, with life lessons riding shotgun through it all.
You can't be hesitant and always not willing to do the extra work. People that are successful actually do the work and set themselves apart from everyone else.
But we're just thankful just for him to even have the opportunity to be in the space and just be able to, like you say, to be able to continue to compete.
There's really no excuses in Adonis's world, and I think you see that a lot carrying on to our guys too, that there's just no excuse, and they just put their head down, go to work, and just try to get better each day.
Wow.
No excuse, no fear. Adonis and UNK look to continue those mindsets tomorrow against Augustana at 3, guys.
You keep us posted on how he's doing.
Well, let's just say this first. He's the man. When I mentioned the whole attention stuff, it was national attention. Yeah. ESPN and all these guys were on Adonis, man. It was awesome.
Thanks, Trey. We'll be right back.
In cross country, tens of teams and hundreds of runners race for 3.1 miles. In the end, only one comes out on top. For the Class B girls at the UNK High School Invitational last Monday, it was York senior Cassidy Stuckey running a sub-19.
I knew there was going to be a lot of good competition. I've raced those girls multiple times, and, you know, we go back and forth.
Stuckey's been going back and forth for a while because the sport runs in the family, literally and figuratively.
I grew up watching my older brother and sister run, and so that's kind of what got me into it.
I coached her brother starting in middle school and coached her sister as well, so they were both really good runners. Her brother went on to run at UNK and had a really successful career there and was an All-American, and her sister's running at Wayne State right now and is one of their better runners.
We definitely wanted to pursue that and give her opportunities if she wanted them, and she's certainly enjoyed pursuing the sport.
Cross country is competitive, a team sport and a grind. But Stuckey and her father Todd say it's also rewarding, even when you're not wearing out the spikes.
It's so great to have such a supportive family, to have a supportive team and coaches and like community. It's like no other.
You know, it has just helped her spiritually, physically, emotionally, helps with interview skills, helps with interpersonal skills.
And when it's all said and done, she's got a plan.
So I'm looking into a pre-dental program at a few schools here in Nebraska, and then also looking, I'm going to visit USC in Augustana too. So we'll see if I can get into the dental program and then decide from there.
In cross country, it's not always perfect, but it makes the outlook on life even stronger. I'm Trey Redfield, NTV Sports.